has President Donald Trump just dropped a major clue about who he wants to succeed him? According to a new book by New York Times journalists Maggie Haberman and Jonathan Swan, the president may have done exactly that, with just 3 words. The moment reportedly happened while Trump was redecorating the Oval Office in gold. As he admired the makeover, someone asked him a simple question: what happens if the next president undoes all of this? Trump's response? As per the book, he said, quote, "Cubans love gold." The remark is recounted in the new book Regime Change, which chronicles Trump's first year back in office. And according to the authors, that seemingly throwaway line was interpreted by some as a nod to Secretary of State Marco Rubio, the son of Cuban immigrants and one of the Republican Party's rising stars. The comment has reignited speculation over who could eventually inherit Trump's political movement, and Rubio isn't the only name in the conversation. Vice President JD Vance is also widely considered a frontrunner for the Republican nomination when Trump eventually leaves the stage. According to the book, some people around Trump believe Rubio may actually have a stronger path to the nomination. However, the authors say Trump also appreciates Vance's intellect and especially likes the vice president's performances during tough television interviews. At the same time, Vance has recently endured a difficult stretch politically. The vice president has faced criticism over negotiations involving Iran, and Trump himself has even joked that if the latest efforts involving Iran fall apart, he'd blame Vance. The book also claims Trump believes his overwhelming support in the 2024 election stemmed from his previous defeat. Although Trump continues to insist he won the 2020 election, those claims remain unsubstantiated. So was, quote, "Cubans love gold" simply a joke about decorating tastes? Or was it Trump casually hinting at who he sees as the future face of the Republican Party? The timing of the remark is especially notable because JD Vance is already dealing with a fresh round of online ridicule after viral claims suggested he was snubbed by Qatar's prime minister during the first round of peace talks in Switzerland on June 21st. What was supposed to be a high-stakes diplomatic mission for Vice President JD Vance quickly turned into an awkward moment that social media simply couldn't ignore. Vance, along with Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner, attended the Lake Lucerne Summit in Switzerland on Sunday for peace negotiations involving Iran, Pakistan, and Qatar. The talks were mediated by Pakistan and Qatar and focused on securing a potential peace agreement with Iran. But before any discussions even began, it was Vance's arrival that grabbed attention online. Videos from the summit appeared to show Qatari Prime Minister Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdul Rahman Al Thani walking straight past the vice president. With Vance standing at the front of the receiving line, the Qatari leader instead greeted the Iranian and Pakistani officials with hugs and kisses. The footage then appeared to show Vance reaching out from behind Pakistan's prime minister, extending his hand in an apparent attempt to get Sheikh Mohammed's attention. He seemingly received only a brief acknowledgement before the Qatari leader turned away. The awkward interaction immediately exploded on social media. One user wrote, quote, "He's by far the daftest vice president ever." Another commented, "The world hates us, and rightfully so, because we're Israel's." A third suggested the moment looked deliberate, writing, quote, "Looks like it was planned. Shabazz stepped in front well in advance as if to help the Qatari minister avoid Vance." Another user posted, quote, "You can't get respect for the asking. You have to earn respect." And one person joked, quote, "They gave you a private jet, but apparently they draw the line at a handshake." The apparent cold shoulder didn't end there. But despite the viral snub and the flood of online commentary, Vance struck a far more optimistic tone the following day. Speaking from Oberburg in Switzerland on Monday, the vice president laid out what he described as key achievements from the first day of negotiations and argued that the summit had produced meaningful progress.
Hello, everybody, and good morning to everybody back in the United States. I guess good afternoon to the folks assembled. So look, yesterday was a very, very good day. We made a lot of good progress. We did exactly what we wanted to do, which is accomplish four things for the American people. First, we wanted to build a mechanism for keeping the Strait of Hormuz open. It is open. We've seen, of course, gas prices and oil prices come down, millions and millions of barrels of crude and natural gas flowing through the Strait of Hormuz that weren't flowing before. But we also wanted to make sure that we actually set up the coordination mechanism so that we could demine the Straits of Hormuz, so that when there are the conflicts that inevitably come up, we can make sure we work through them rather than that leading to escalation. And that is exactly what we did yesterday. Number two, we also wanted to build a mechanism, a similar mechanism for deconfliction for the regional ceasefire. As the President of the United States has himself said, sometimes these ceasefires just mean you're shooting a little bit less, but we wanted to make sure that we had the proper coordination set up so that if there is shooting, if Hezbollah fires at Israel or if Israel responds, if there are other conflicts that arise in the region, we're actually talking to each other and figuring out how to stop the shooting, how to make the region safer, our allies and everybody else. We set that up as well. Number three, and this is probably what we're most excited about as Americans, the Iranians have agreed to invite IAEA inspectors back into their country. That is a major milestone for the American people and the first step in permanently denuclearizing or permanently ending a nuclear weapons program in Iran. And that's exactly what we wanted to do. That's exactly what we asked to happen. We made a lot of great progress on other nuclear talks. And that leads me to the final thing that we wanted to accomplish, which is actually set up the process for the technical negotiations that will follow. Our teams working with the Iranians, the Qataris, and the Pakistanis made great progress yesterday. They will continue to work at the technical level with the teams here in Bergenstock. And then those technical negotiations are going to continue over the weeks and days to come. We wanted to set up a structure for that so that you could have proper political oversight, but obviously, as much as this place is very beautiful, I can't stay here for the next 60 days. I'm about to go back home to the United States, but the technical teams are going to be working with proper oversight to make sure that we're accomplishing the objectives that matter for everybody. So those are the things that we wanted to accomplish. We came here. We did exactly that. The way that I think about it is very simple. We laid a very good foundation for a successful final deal. The final deal is the house. We set the foundation. We haven't built the house, but we've laid a successful foundation to get to a good place for the American people. I think it's important for all of us to appreciate how much was done, but honestly, there is still a lot to do as we continue to make progress on the nuclear talks, on the economic talks, as we continue to demine the straits and ensure that that flow of traffic continues to pick back up. A lot of progress, but still some work to do, and we're very committed to doing exactly that. The thing with the Iranians, yes, they did threaten to walk out, or at least there were social media threats that they would walk out, but we were negotiating well past 1 a.m. yesterday, so they didn't walk out, and their technical team is still here in Bergenstock working with our technical team actually as we speak, though I imagine maybe some of them are taking a break to watch this news conference. But look, what we told the Iranians yesterday is when you guys engage in what us millennials might call trash talk, you can't expect the President of the United States not to respond and not to correct the record.